You're going to like it. BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, Gumbo Live. I've got Carla Kopp from Weird Giraffe Games. She's here to talk to us about her big game. And if we're going to talk about libraries, right? We're talking about libraries?
Yes, libraries.
I was thinking, if you're going to talk about libraries with Carla Kopp, why not bring in a librarian?
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, how you doing?
And there's Azul and Ex Libris.
Yep, and up here, there you go.
It's Jeremy Davis, the Game Geek Ninja, in to come visit with you to talk about Fire in the Library. And I was watching you, Jeremy. You were trading games like mad as you heard Carla talking about all these different games.
Well, I was trying to get some book-themed ones up there, yeah.
I like that. Ex Libris. Oh, I should have put that up there. I do have some games up here in the background with some kind of a theme. I don't know if anybody's caught it yet. But yeah, I do have a theme.
I can see it.
Maybe words. I don't know. I've never played Flashpoint or Ruins.
Flashpoint is fire, so that should give you some clue.
Flashpoint, fire, right?
Yes, that makes sense.
Runes and wordsy. But I should have thought of Ex Libris. God, Jeremy, you got me on that one.
Well, I try.
So, Jeremy, we're going to be talking with Carla tonight about Fire in the Library. But, she has been talking nonstop about Fire in the Library for days.
Yeah.
I'm sure she could use just a little bit of breather. Jeremy, what did you like about Fire in the Library, man? Tell us about it.
I really like that it's you can play it casually. You can sit around talking while you're playing it. You don't have to be super really in depth with the game but then it also has a lot of strategy to it. It's not just picking cubes from a bag. I was telling her the other day that the tools really added something. I played the game with Tony probably 2 years ago, and it was almost then just, pick some cubes from a bag and push your luck that way. But the tools to me just completely changed the game and made it better. So you can kind of mitigate the luck that would normally be from just a pressure luck game. You can use some strategy. Some things let you keep some of the books or kind of set them aside till the end of the round or get rid of some of the fire. And it's a really cool game now.
So, Carla, tell us about Fire in the Library. What is it like, and how do you play it?
Oh, okay. So, Fire in the Library is also right here.
There it is. Is that a wooden copy or the?
No, the wooden copy is like right here.
Oh, I'm so jealous. That looks so awesome.
Yeah, I have
been watching all your
pictures.
I've been watching all the pictures. How you've been testing out the different laser cuttings. Tell the audience about Fire in the Library.
So Fire in the Library, it is a pressure luck game for 1 to 6 players that plays in about 30 minutes. And in it, you are a librarian who is trying to save enough books before the library just completely collapses in on itself. And how you play is first you choose your turn order. So turn order is very important because the first one into the library is the bravest, and bravery matters because, as Jeremy knows, you're not really a great librarian in this game. You're kind of like a mediocre one that cares about bravery. If we were as good of librarians as Jeremy is, this would be a co-op game, but it's not. You're trying
Jeremy, would you hire yourself the way that we play this game out, or are we bad librarians in this game?
Well, you're only saving the valuable books, so I don't know. I'm a children's librarian. I'm going to get the kids out first. I'm not worried about them.
Yeah, what about the people? Are there any people in this library?
We're assuming the people are already out. Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows about the people? That's like in an expansion or something. Okay, so you choose your turn order. First one in. If you save books, this is important. You only get bravery points if you succeed. If you're first in and you burn stuff, no bravery for you. So if you succeed in saving books, that's good. You get points. Otherwise, all those books that so you would burn books if you got either 1 fire cube in a risky space or 2 total fire cubes. And the first turn order card only has 1 safe space and it has 4 risky spaces. So your chances of getting a fire cube if you keep going risky is a lot higher. So if you burn books, you have to press your luck. So if you burn books, there's the different parts of the library and the different sections of the library. They start off very low valued, okay? They start off between 1 and 4 points. But if you destroy things, those books are worth more now. But you've already, like, increased the fire. Like, it's basically like if you burn books, you're, like, throwing books into the fire, and the fire is growing. And what that means is more fire tokens are put in the bag, so the ratio of fire gets higher as the game goes on, and it makes it harder to save books. Much like it would be if you were, chucking books into the fire in a burning library, you'd be making it a lot worse. So, in the beginning of the game, the amount of points you're going to be getting is low, and your risk is low, but as the game goes on, more fire cubes into the bag, and more points for you because the books have gotten more valuable. So, say that everyone has been very cautious and nobody's burnt books. Well, nobody actually went and tried to put out the fire, and the fire kept going, so another section of the library burns at the end of every round. So, the game will end even if everyone is super cautious and good at stuff. The game will end. One big aspect of the game are the tools, and there are 10. Well, actually, we've hit like a stretch goal, so there's now 11 tools in the game. Like, I know the stuff that I've put out. I read. Well, I didn't really read my writing; I wrote it. So, there's that.
So 11 tools now are already unlocked, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Jeremy only got to play with 10. Actually, he's probably played with more because he's play tested. So he got to play with like all my weird tools. Like, I would say the weirdest tool that I've made up is the Cobra. So, how do you think you'd use a Cobra in a burning library?
I can't think of that one. Jeremy, you got any ideas?
No, I don't. Did I have the Cobra? I don't think I had.
I don't know. That one was a weird one. So, how I got the idea for this is I go on gameicons.net sometimes. They have great game icons for creating prototypes. But this is part of my design process. So I go through and I look at icons, and I looked at the Cobra, and I was like, how would you use a Cobra if there was a library burning down? And my answer to that is that you would chuck it at another player, of course. And you know what? It would be pretty hard to use an axe or a slingshot if somebody threw a Cobra at you.
Yeah. Hey, Steve says spitting to put out the fire, maybe. Maybe is a possible. If you didn't have a fire hydrant or something, just grab a Cobra and start the spitting going. I'm not sure about that one, though. So, Jeremy, when was the first time you got to play this game?
I played it at Gen Con the first year I went, so 2016. And it was the first time I actually met Tony Miller. And he was sitting around showing it to a bunch of people. And I didn't get to play, I got to watch it. Did
you get to hook Carla and Tony together?
No, but
no.
We met that first year. And then, I mean, it started, the friendship started forming anyway.
So, Carla, how did you discover Fire in the Library?
About the same way. So that Gen Con, I also met Jeremy for the first time. It was like all of us just meeting up at that Gen Con. But I had talked to Tony online a couple times. Well, probably more than a couple. I mean, it's Twitter. We probably talked every day or something. But we decided to meet up, and he played my first game, which was Super Hack Override, and I played Fire in the Library. And yeah, we gave each other different advice for our games. And, we went our separate ways after that. And then we kept on meeting up at the different conventions after that. I think the next one was Origins.
And we're getting a lot of ideas here. Joe says use the Cobra's tail like a whip to grab books, a la Indiana Jones.
Yeah, like I could do that. Well, or I could have like an actual whip.
It's a makeshift water balloon. Fill up the Cobra with water, and then that's terrible, Marshall. That's really horrible. I'm going to go with Joe's idea a little better than, no offense, Marshall. I don't know about you, Carla, but I like Joe's idea a little better.
Well, we tried not to harm the animals too much. Other than, throwing them, they can deal with that, but probably not filling them up with water.
All right, so you discovered the game through your friendship with Tony. That was Gen Con 49. Then all three of us met up Gen Con 50, and I saw you guys hanging out with Tony almost every night. I didn't get to try the game, but I'm assuming is that what you were doing? You were starting the process of signing the game?
No, actually.
Really? I'm really bad at this, Jeremy.
So after Gen Con was right before Stellar Leap launched, and well, Stellar Leap, it went really well. And so, well, I had also, so in this process of meeting up with Tony at conventions, I had heard him, like he tried to pitch games to different people, and one of the themes with Fire in the Library that he got like feedback for was that they all said it was a great game, but they already had a push your luck game. Okay. And that got me thinking, like every time I heard it, I thought about like a couple different things. Like, well, one, I don't design press your luck games and I don't have a press your luck game. But two, like it is a good game. So I kind of was to those together that like, hey, I need a press your luck game. This is a great game. Like I really just wanted to buy the game, like because I thought it would like I don't like press your luck games, but I actually like really enjoyed playing Fire in the Library. Like usually with pressure luck games, like I'll try it once and mid game I'm like, like do I have to finish this? Like well, if you think about it like this, like there's so many games, like I'm never gonna play every game. So why waste time with the games that I don't enjoy? So
say goodnight to Joe. He wanted to tell you thanks and good luck with the Kickstarter he's got to check out. Thank you, Joe, for watching the show. It's BJ from More Game Gumbo Live here with Carla Kopp of Weird Giraffe Games and the Game Geek Ninja, Jeremy Davis. We're talking Fire in the Library. I like press your luck games. Celestia is one of the ones. I think Jeremy, you and I have talked about Celestia before, right? Have you played?
I'm not
Celestia?
sure if we have. I haven't played that one yet.
Oh yeah, okay. I like push your luck games. I'm a big fan of those, so I'm excited that you've got that mechanic. But one of the things that drew me is the artwork in the game. How did you get Beth to look at this? I'm going to show some more pictures. Prepared. Oh wow, she's got all the cards there.
Yeah, so when I talked to Beth,
turn them around, Carla. Show her the backs too.
Oh, the backs. Oh, that's not how my arm works, Jeremy.
The back of the cards is just as gorgeous as the front. I love it.
Yeah, you have to show that up close and see if we can see that.
Okay. Well, this is the back for the tool card.
Oh, wow. That is gorgeous. Look at that. That looks like an old library type design. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. And then the back for the library is like this. So
it's
the idea... Orange. Oh, like fire. Because the library, the library is like this, and then you burn it down, and it's up in flames.
I got it. That is just some gorgeous art.
And then the tools put out the flames, which is why they're ice-colored.
They look like water or ice, that's right. Yeah. I've got a couple of cards I can show you real quick. This one is called the Slingshot. Is that artwork from Beth?
Yeah, it is. So she worked on it. So how did Beth get into doing games for me? So I know Beth from Twitter, and so does Tony. And so I believe Beth and Tony were at BGG-Con this year, which is in like November, and I had just signed the game. And Beth went to go play it. And as Beth was playing the game, her husband was there, and she's like, do I have time to do the art for Fire in the Library? And he was like, yeah, I think so. Wow. And yeah, like sometimes things just happen. And like Tony apparently was like, hey, Carla makes all the decisions, but like, let's do this. And then he told me, and I was like, what? Beth wants to do the art? And I was so excited. It took me like a while. Like I had to calm down a little before I emailed her because I was just that excited about it. But yeah, like.
Were you familiar with her art from other games before? Or is it something you researched after Tony mentioned her name?
Oh, no, I've known Beth. Like, she's so nice. Well, and she does, like, art. She did the art for, like, viticulture and lanterns and Coldwater Crown and Herbaceous. And I could probably, like, list off a bunch more. But, yeah, like, she does really fantastic art. And she's super nice. So it's, like, both of them together.
Yeah, let's see if I can throw another one up there. I've got one for the audience to see. The library card. Jeremy, is that an accurate representation of a library card?
It's all right. I took another one with the game sitting on it that was pretty good too.
I did see that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had the one with the library cart, and you had that. My favorite one was the one that was on the bookshelf where it was kind of turned at an angle. That was a really good picture.
Yeah, and that one was sitting next to one of Tony's favorite authors. So I did that on purpose for him. Yeah, that was for him.
That was good. Good idea there. So the what I wanted to ask you, Jeremy, about the game is you've kind of seen it from the very start, and then now in its almost final production. How much has the game changed over the playtesting that you've done?
It's the core of the game has always remained the same because everything Tony he had the turn order cards at least by last year, and then the tools he had added in last year, and he was showing it to a bunch of people. And Carla's right; they were all like, "Yeah, this is a great game. This is a great game." But nobody was really giving him anything, and he was kind of feeling a little bummed about it, I think. But he really wanted to sign this game because it's where his love is. But it really once I saw the tools, I knew it was pretty solid. And then I think that Beth's art just brings it together. I mean, once you get that on the table, you're like, okay, this is really, really good. I saw it when Tony had it. It was still in the prototype phase where he had made it on Nandek or somewhere where he had just had the illustrations that were the symbols and stuff. But once you throw the artwork with it, it's completely there. It's solid.
Well, Carla, Tony's been very complimentary of you on podcasts and talking about the development as how much fun he's had working with you where you've kind of put a shine or refined the game. What was that like going from being, doing a game from scratch, from your imagination and building up the whole world like you did with Stellar Leap, and then in a game like this, working with a guy, Tony, who maybe doesn't have a game that's been published yet, but man, Tony has designed a lot of games. I mean, he's got a lot of projects out there. What was it like working with someone who already has his ideas fleshed out? How do you handle that?
Well, it was really awesome. One, Tony is just an amazing person, but he was also really good. We would just talk back and forth, do design discussions. It was really fantastic. I had kind of designed Stellar Leap with Nick, who was the other part of Weird Giraffe Games, but he's not super into game design. He'll do it when I'm like, hey, let's game design right now. But he's not the person that's like, hey, let's game design.
He'd rather play Galapagos with me and Jeremy. That's why.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, but working with Tony and also John, they're both so passionate, and it was just fantastic. We would just talk about Fire in the Library for so long, and then I'd just go prototype it and play test it, and it iterated so fast. In part, I have a lot of play testers, so we talk about stuff. I'd print off a prototype and go play test it, and every day we just play test and talk and just make it so good. And so we made it really great in a really short amount of time, I thought. But yeah, developing a game is really cool because in the beginning of a game, it's not for me it's always been playable, but it's not been oh, I had a bunch of fun playing this, but getting to develop a game, you get straight into that fun, hey, this is a fun game already, let's make it more fun. So yeah, it's so enjoyable to develop a game.
PJ from More Game Gumbo here, Gumbo Live. I've got Carla Kopp from Weird Giraffe Games. I've also got Jeremy Davis, the Game Geek Ninja. We're talking about Fire in the Library, but before we go on, I've got Tony coming in next week, so I want to know, what's the best thing about working with Tony, and what will he say when I ask him what Carla says is the best and worst thing about working with Tony?
Okay, so what's the best thing? He is very supportive, and he's always he's so good to just bounce ideas off of. He will listen and give good feedback and give honest feedback, which is what I really enjoy. Some people, you play test with them and they'll be like, yeah, I love that. And then they tell everyone, I noticed that at an Unpub room where we're going from game to game, the people responded hey, yeah, I love that, I'd buy that to every single game. So I realized they weren't giving maybe they would buy buy every single game they played, but chances are that they don't. Yeah. Yeah, some people have more money than I do, obviously. But yeah, like Tony is really honest, and he will say what needs to be said, which is, like, that's what I want. Like, I don't want just somebody to tell me that they love the game, because that's not helpful. What I want to make the game better. I don't want to, like, feel good about myself, What's the worst part about working with Tony? He doesn't do Dropbox that well.
You're honest. I like it. I'll see if I can get that.
Like, he really wanted to do like Google Drive, and I was like, no, Dropbox, because like I love Dropbox. Like that's my jam. But
I do them both, so we need to get Tony to learn to do both of them. That's what
well, I mean, like at this point, yeah, he's doing it fine. But in the beginning, it was like, no, do Dropbox.
So what do you think? Play the future. What do you think Tony's going to say next week about the best thing about you guys working together? What's he going to say?
I would think the collaboration is the best thing. Maybe. I don't know.
So we're good collaborators. Let's see what he says. Don't tell Tony. We'll ask him on the show next week.
Well, Andy might just watch this. Who knows?
Oh, you never know.
Oh, he might also say that I playtest a lot. Because I feel like, yeah. I tend to playtest more than other people because I just make my coworkers playtest all the time. I like corner them. I don't know. That's my skill.
I want to show off a couple more pictures that we have here. What is this that we're looking at? What is that?
Yeah. Somebody's candy. Is that Olivia's candy?
That's Olivia's candy, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, we do have the candy in there, too. I forgot about that. Yeah, in the back, the Tootsie Roll Pop.
That was when I was playtesting the game, to review it, with my 5-year-old niece. And we played it without the tools, because she's too young to get that. But she was complaining that every time you burned a part of the library, you had to add a fire cube to the bag. And so I made her put it in there. And she's like, oh, I don't like the fire cubes because it makes it harder. You might burn. And so, that was her. I said, okay, well, let's take a picture of you doing that. And she's like, hold on, I got to put my Tootsie Roll Pop down. So it became part of the shot. But, yeah, I mean, she would scream. Every time we'd burn a part, she'd scream, burn! So she really liked it. It was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you've read the rules lately, but you might want to. I'm just saying there might be a tiny gamer variant.
Oh, no, I haven't read that. I need to get on that and see if there's a tiny gamer for her. That's awesome. I think BJ's all set. There he goes.
Yeah, where is he?
How about now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, man. Everybody went. We may have had a little server burp here. Hopefully I didn't lose Jeremy there.
No, I'm here.
Jeremy was here.
See, Marshall says lollipops, owls, libraries, and it all fits. We're bringing it all back around there. See you guys did a lot. We may have lost Jeremy because he.
No, I'm here.
No, he's still there. I see him.
I see his face, but is he moving?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's moving, and he's responding to you. It's like kind of weird.
Oh, let me throw you out, Jeremy. See if I can get you back in here, okay? All right, so I'm gonna try to bring Jeremy Davis here for the last part of the show. I've got a couple more pictures. Jeremy, is that you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yay!
But
Jeremy, you're gonna have to log back out because I do not see you coming in. I think we lost the connection there.
Oh, I think
DJ Morgan Gumbo here talking with Carla Kopp of Weird Giraffe Games about her game Fire in the Library, and I'm not sure what happened. We lost a couple of people on here. Fire in the Library is on Kickstarter right now, and the Kickstarter is going to be going for a while. They've already funded the game. Weird Giraffe has been doing such a good job with the community out there on Twitter, out there on Facebook, talking about everything. Oh, and I think I've got Jeremy back. Let's see if we got him. Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm back.
I don't know what happened there. I think we had a little server burp here with my local internet. I'm trying to get Carla back. Let me see. She may have to log back out and then log back in. Carla, you back?
On the show. I think I am. No. I can hear you.
No, I think we lost her. Yeah, this does happen every once in a while if we have a server burp. We'll need her to get her to log out and log back in. But in the meantime, I was telling you that I was telling the audience that the Fire in the Library Kickstarter has blown up, Jeremy. The first 2 days has been fantastic.
It's been really great.
They've already funded the goal, and Carl is doing a dance for us now.
No, because I could see you all, but I guess you couldn't see me.
No. Yeah, sometimes that happens. We'll lose the connection, and then the easiest thing is just to log out and log back in. I was showing some pictures of some of the playtesting.
Yeah. Okay, now I can't hear. But okay,
Carla,
is it
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you. So I've got a picture. Is this some of the playtesting that you guys did?
Yeah, at Rocket City Game Fest, actually. And there's Falcon from Chaos Storm Games.
Which one is he?
He is the one that's on the left. Well, the left for me. He's in yellow.
Oh, Jeremy, I'm so bad at this. I was about to say the guy with the orange shorts or the orange sleeves. I'm terrible at my own show. Isn't this bad? All right. So let me see. I got one more picture I want to see, and I recognize some of the faces in this one. And where was this at?
Oh, that's so many people. So that was in Portland. I forget where exactly because so I was in Portland. I visited Tony and Dawson and Christy. So the people in that picture, Tony, he's the bearded rogue. Jimmy, he is. I always want to say he's on Tatooine Table Flip, but he has some other Twitter handle that I can't remember right now. Dawson from Cohort Number Games. It's Cohort 8, is it?
Sure.
Jeremy, do you know?
It's 7 or 8. I know there's some numbers up there.
It's a Roman numeral, and I'm just blanking on it right now. And then there's Christy from Peace, Love, and Games.
Oh, that's Christy. Okay, I follow her on Twitter. I see her post a lot. And isn't there someone in the front there that we know?
Oh, yeah, that's Nick.
Let's not forget about Nick.
I just assumed that everyone knows Nick, but obviously they don't. So
I can't wait for you to say Nick's name. All right, so BJ from Board Game Gumbo Live here. How much longer do they have on the Kickstarter for Fire in the Library if people want to get in on the action?
I believe it's 22 days. It's up until April 12th, which is actually not that long of a time. So make sure to get on it because we have lots of stretch goals. And we've already met 5 of them, maybe.
What's the one you're excited about? What's the one you're excited about?
Future or that we've already met?
In the future, what's the one you're excited about?
Okay,
give us a scoop. Come on, Carla, give us a scoop.
So I haven't mentioned this to anyone else. This is the exclusive, book box. So we have, so right now we have a magnet box, but it can look like a book, actually. I have an example. So this is a book box where it's
I have one here, a little magnet right here that kind of closes.
Oh, that's the magnetic box. So we already have that. I'm opening this thing I got from the manufacturer today. So I
can't wait to see it. Let's take a look.
So this is Twist of Fate. I don't know. I've never, but yeah. It's you can see that it's a book.
It looks like a real box there. Because
it has the binding. It has the roundy part to it. So I'm really excited. I think that would be really cool to have
Jeremy,
a book
does
box.
that get your approval?
Does it have the little magnet to hold it shut too?
It does.
Yeah.
So it has a magnet around the outside or something. So yeah.
That'll be really nice.
I am excited.
And you'll be in
last because that's what you do. You put the most exciting one towards the last, and then there's a big push because everyone wants book box. I don't know. Yeah. That's what I've heard to do.
No, I love that. That's a cool stretch goal, and hopefully you guys can meet it.